Hi everyone, today we're going to focus on Persian question words. As you remember from lesson 1 to lesson 11, chi in Persian is what, ki is who, ki is when, koja is where, kojai is where from. We use chekare to ask about jobs. Chetor is how. Chan, and in everyday speech, chanta is how many. چقدر is how much. کدوم is which. And چرا is why. Now let's see how we can use our question words to form questions. In a language like English, we begin with the question word. For example, in how are you, where are you from, and what do you do, we are putting the question words how, where, and what at the beginning of our questions. But as you know from lesson 1, in Persian, we normally begin with the subject. That's why Persian information questions do not necessarily begin with the question word. For example, when we want to ask what is this, we begin with the subject in, which means this. We end with the verb is, and the question word chi, what, goes in between. So we end up saying in چیه. Similarly, for what is that, we begin with the subject un, we end with the verb and we put the question word chi in between. For who is this, we say in کیه. For who is she, he or that, we ask un کیه. Following the same construction, for where are you in an informal setting, for example, when we're talking to a friend or family or people who are our age, we ask تو کجا هستی? And in a formal setting, شما کجا هستین? For where are you from, we have تو کجایی هستی? Or شما کجایی هستین? For what do you do, we ask تو چه کاره هستی? Or شما چه کاره هستین? For how are you, we ask چطوری? Or چطورین? Which are the concise forms of تو چطور هستی? And شما چطور هستین? How many sisters and brothers do you have? In an informal setting would be تو چند تا خواهر و برادر داری. And in a formal setting شما چند تا خواهر و برادر دارین. When do you have breakfast, lunch and dinner? is تو کی صبحانه، نهار و شام میخوری. Or شما کی صبحانه، نهار و شام میخورین. How much fast food do you eat? would be تو چقدر fast food میخوری. Or شما چقدر fast food میخورین. But since in a question like which one is better, the subject is the question word itself. In Persian, we also begin with the question word کدوم. For example, if we want to ask which one is better, Saturday or Sunday, why? We begin with the question word کدوم and ask کدوم بهتره، شنبه یا یکشنبه؟ چرا؟ Now let's move on to Persian question phrases. When we want to know what something means in Persian, we use یعنی چی, as in salam یعنی چی. What does salam mean? با in Persian means with. So با چی means with what? And we can use it to ask how people get places. از این تو با چی میری دانشگاه? What do you go to the university with? Which is an alternative for تو چطور میری دانشگاه? How do you get to the university? با کی is with whom. از این تو با کی میری دانشگاه? As you can see, we have a movement verb here. So we're putting our destination, دانشگاه, after our verb. as you can remember from lesson 8, verbs of directional movement. When we want to ask for about, we put چی at the end of our question. از این من ایرانی هستم. تو چی? I am Iranian. What about you? For how about, we put چطور at the end of our question. از این من معلم هستم. تو چطور? I am a teacher. How about you? For how many hours, we have چند ساعت. از این تو چند ساعت کار میکنی؟ How many hours do you work? For how many times, we have چند بار. از این تو چند بار در هفته ورزش میکنی؟ How many times a week do you exercise? And for how often, we have چند وقت یه بار. از این تو چند وقت یه بار میری بیرون؟ How often do you go out? For what time, we have ساعت چند. از این ساعت چنده? What time is it? And we use the verb phrase چه کار کردن for what to do. از این تو چه کار میکنی? What do you do? Perfect. Now you know all your question words. Have fun with your Persian and see you soon.